But first, a News Nation exclusive. As we go to air tonight, Hamas is holding about 100 hostages in Gaza, including 5 Americans. Negotiations to free them have dragged on for months as anguished, angry families of those hostages protest daily in Israel, calling on their government to reach a deal to free them. The White House is urging Hamas militants to release about 40 women, elderly and wounded hostages in exchange for a 6-week ceasefire and the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. But despite that enormous pressure from President Biden and the world, there is still no deal to free them. So what must life be like for those hostages? Torn from their families, deprived of their freedom, subject to the constant threat of torture, rape, and violent death. Well, tonight we're able to shed some light on that question as we bring you the powerful story of Judith Raanan, a Chicago area mother speaking out for the first time after enduring 2 weeks as one of those hostages. She and her daughter were the first hostages to be released after the terrorist attack on October 7th. Judith went to Israel last September to celebrate her mother's 85th birthday in the land where she was raised, a land she loves. She came back, changed forever. And tonight, she is sharing for the first time what happened to her and her daughter in an effort to help bring the rest of those 100 hostages home. The ordeal began while Judith was vacationing with her teenage daughter, Natalie, in the Nahal Oz kibbutz in southern Israel, just half a mile from the Gaza border.
It was October 7th. You and your daughter were staying in a guest house on the kibbutz?
Right. We stayed in a guest house, and I did my prayer very early in the morning. Then I went back to sleep, and I slept very, very deeply. So I did not hear a lot of the things that were going on around me. So, yeah.
Judith says she was awakened after her mother called her daughter's cell phone, warning them not to go outside.
I specifically stood up and started walking towards the room of my daughter. And that was also the moment that a rocket hit the bedroom where I was.
The terror attack had begun. Israel estimates more than 1,000 Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, committed a massacre of 1,200 people, and took hundreds of hostages.
Could you hear any of the gunfire and the explosions?
Yes, we heard gunfire. We did not hear any planes above us. We only heard shots from far away. Mm-hmm. And then until I heard some Arabic, and I understood that I have 2 minutes to explain to my daughter what is about to happen, and I did.
What did you say?
Well, I simply said, honey, do you remember how you see in the movies, those guys that have all this military artillery and stuff? They come with guns and all? So that's what's gonna come through the door, so don't panic.
You told your daughter not to be afraid. Did that work?
Not to panic, because I knew that panic is really not suitable for this situation. If you panic, you can be shot. And the best thing is to see what's next.
What happened next?
Well, 2 guys came in with full artillery, very frightening, very big weapons, with a big bomb in the size of, I'm not good with cars, like the car battery, you know, that box, that black box.
Right.
They had all kind of stuff in their vest, and they had a special hat, and they had a full artillery, very well equipped. They did say, we're not going to kill you.
Did they all have masks on their faces? Or were they showing their faces?
They had masks and some didn't. I don't recall anymore. He kept on threatening with a gun to see if there's anybody in the room, although it was a very tiny room. And he was yelling that. And I was with my pajama, and my girl was afraid. She said, Mom, I'm afraid to be raped.
That fear was well-founded. Hamas is known to use sexual violence as a weapon of war, and just last week the UN confirmed what had already been widely reported, that there is convincing information Hamas has committed rape and gang rape against its hostages.
All the evidence of the rape and the murder.
We've been covering it a lot.
I mean, this is really just not. Even people from us are saying this is not the Quran. This is not a behavior that we accept. This is not, should not be by anyone. Okay, by anyone. Okay, it's not acceptable. Mm-hmm. We cannot live like this. This is against humanity. I'm asking God to give the wisdom to the people that can have influence to stop this and to release our people first of all, if they're still alive. And I'm hoping they are. We pray for them every day, morning and evening, and all day long, basically. I will not have peace until they're all out.
But as Judith and her daughter were taken, she had one important tool at her disposal: her language skills.
I happened to take one course in Oakton Community College for Arabic. So I only know very little, but at that moment when you're at that threat, then all of a sudden, like, everything that you need for your survival will come to you.
So they had a group of you now.
And an entire group.
And what happened? When did they begin to take you into Gaza?
Right there. And they didn't want to wait. He wanted to, steal the car and to get to Gaza, but the car didn't work. We walked.
You walked?
Yeah, we walked. Each person had 2 guards on him. They're all armed, holding them once we were cuffed, each one on each side.
Mm-hmm. With zip ties?
Yes.
So
he said, if you're not going to walk fast, I couldn't walk fast. And I said that if I'm not, I cannot walk fast. And so he said, if you don't walk fast, I will shoot you. And so he shot the ground. That was pretty scary. But I couldn't do anything because my hands were cuffed.
You walked that entire distance?
Right, with my flip-flops, and I was just afraid that a scorpion or a snake can come too, because it's just land that is agricultural land.
What happened once you crossed the border?
There was a bunch of other guys with some old car that took us somewhere to one hospital, and a very high-ranked, I believe, Hamas gentleman who spoke brilliant Hebrew.
Do you remember his name?
No.
You know that the leader of the Hamas attack was a prisoner in Israel for many years.
Yes, I do know.
Speaks fluent Hebrew. Do you think it was him?
No. We know it was not him, but, it's an associate.
But perhaps the most chilling moment came not from the Hamas leader, but from the hospital staff.
Yeah, the minute we came in, all the nurses were standing there and going like this. They were all so happy that they came back with pray, with Israeli Jewish pray. Although I told them I'm an American, but Jewish pray, like we've captured our pray, and everybody is very happy about this.
The nurses were cheering?
Yeah, there is a leader nurse, and all of them were like, I think the other ones were afraid of her. I really don't think all of them were happy to see us. They're very much terrified. Because you have to understand that right now they're surrounded with people that are gun-loaded.
That's crucial because Hamas has long denied that the militant group operates inside hospitals.
What happened after you went to the hospital? Where were you taken next?
We were moved quite a few times. Also, when we reached the place that we kind of stayed the most in the end, before that, another rocket came exactly and fell down where we were, me and my daughter.
An Israeli rocket?
Yeah.
You and I are both moms. One of my sons is the exact age of your daughter. I can't fathom going through an experience like this with one of my children and being so worried about their safety. How did you do that? How did you keep it together?
We pray. We pray. We talk to Hashem. We all know that. We're all born, physically born, We live and we die. And we want to die without regrets.
What followed after that capture and that harrowing trip to Gaza was 2 weeks of struggle and survival for Judith and her daughter that finally ended with a dramatic release. We'll have that part of the story for you tomorrow.